Jesus coming.
Very good afternoon and welcome to Police Park here as we overlook the preliminary scenes before we kick off this match between Havelocks and Police. Police hoping to be in the ascendancy after a couple of close losses in the last 2 weeks, and Havelocks after a massive win in their last game against CHNFC, where they managed to score only 7 points though in the second half, are coming through and hoping to keep the unbeaten tag intact today. And they have a few injuries once again in their starting lineup, so that's going to be a problem for Coach Laga. But joining me in the commentary box to talk you through this game for the moment, Jan Gunatilaka is with me. Good afternoon, Jan. 4:30 start this time, probably a good measure considering how humid it is.
Yeah, I'm sure the players will really appreciate that, Shanaka. It hasn't been too friendly for rugby this weather. It's been hot and sticky for most parts of this week, and today looks another scorcher. So the players will gladly take that extra half hour and a delayed start.
It is really an interesting fact that after we described it on the ThePapare breakdown as well last week, that the SLRF have taken this decision, and it's a good thing that they've been proactive about this as well, because the teams have been warming up and they look pretty knackered as well going into the dugout before they come back out with their jerseys on. So let's hope that they haven't already been sapped of some energy and we'll see a free-flowing game. But Havelocks will be the favourites today, and favourites by a long way, won't they, Jan?
Yes, they will be. On current form, definitely yes. Having said that, Shanaka, if you look at who the Police team have amongst their squad, you can't help but state that they have underachieved this season. They've had a good squad to select from, and they've had some pretty decent players being drafted in, but yet haven't quite delivered what was expected of them. So today just might be the day.
Yes, and with Jeevan joining us in the commentary box, we were actually talking about that in the last Police match as well, how this Police team lacks cohesion as a unit. They've got some good individuals in it, but unfortunately they don't seem to have that ability to play together. A few injuries to key players in the fly half position as well really have cramping their style this season.
Yeah, Shahanag, it's been a stop-start type of affair. And, just when they seem like they are getting their act together, they have injury worries, suspension worries, so the woes just keep on adding on to their tally. And today they'll be without Mohammad Sharif, who has been their linchpin at the back. So, it's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza kind of scenario for them.
Yes, Riza Mubarak taking what he would think is his rightful place again at fullback, and Police will have a chance to kick points then, and that's something that Havelocks will have to be afraid of, because they won't be able to concede penalties any side of their 40, because Riza is going to be pretty deadly from that point on. So that's something that we've got to think about as well. And looking at this Police Sports Club team card, we have Terence Henry, who actually starts today. He hasn't started quite a few games. Achala Pereira and Randhira Silva, also an experienced and big front row. Gan Dilshan and Chanak Udara, the captain, in the second row. Shara Fernando, who will again have to make sure his discipline is up to the mark. Shanaka Harishchandra, Rajesh Seneviratna also starts at number 8. Sudham Suryarachi at 9. Rehan Veerakur makes a welcome return at number 10. Riza Rafaidin on the left wing. Musin Falil and Chula Susanta Musin created the only try that Police scored last week against CRNFC. And Gihan Silva comes in at the right wing, and Riza Mubarak in the fullback's jersey. So that's the Police Sports Club team card for you. It looks like a pretty decent side, Jan, and we're looking at Rehan Veerakun to try and create some combinations.
That goes back to my takes me back to my earlier point, Shanak. If you look at the team card, there's a lot of quality in the starting lineup. On paper, they look like they have a very, very decent side that could trouble anybody in this competition. However, when it comes to combinations, when it comes to game plan, when it comes to getting into that situation of being in the opponent's 22, they just haven't come away with the points, and they'll be desperately disappointed with how that's gone so far. But having a side like that, it's just a matter of time before they turn the corner.
And let's have a look at the second place Havelocks at the moment, trying to maintain that bonus point tag today, and starting is Dushmant Priyadarshana at loose head alongside Prasad Madhushan. Both these guys have scored an inordinate amount of tries for front row forwards. Liston Flatley joins them in another big front row, so it'll be a good scrum battle. Janik Jasuria and Shehan Das in at second row, so that's a big front five that Coach Laga has gone with. Gavindu Lakshan moves to the flanker position alongside Sudarshan Mutsantri, and Lasitu Karunathilaka, the outstanding Science College schoolboy, is at number 8. Rahul De Silva, one of the most intelligent players, Jeevan has coached him as well as Wesley. He comes in at number 9. Shamri Bura moves to the fly half position. So Laga having a lot of fly half problems. And then we have Rehan Thiagaraja, one of the fastest men on the park, at number 11 on the left wing. Hiranta Pereira and Ramita Varnapura in a makeshift midfield without Danushka Ranjan in the side. Sadun Hera, the danger man on the right wing. And Rimzi Jamaldeen is the man that has been given the task of manning the last line of defence in the absence of Kevin Dixon this time around. So again, a severely weak and Havelock side, but still got enough quality on it to do the job today.
Yeah, it does. It does have some big names there, Shanaka, some household names. But however, having said that, any team without Danushka Ranjan is not the same. We saw Havelocks against Candy without Danushka Ranjan, they were not the same team. So I think they have a point to prove today that they are more than just a one-man team. And Coach Laga has come up with some brave choices, and I think interesting choice at fullback, interesting choice at fly half. Having said that, they have consistent performances performers who they can rely on, like Rahul De Silva has always been bad. I can't recall him having a bad day. But again, I think, for them to seize the initiative, a lot will depend on Sudarshan, Muthutantri and the back row of Havelocks.
Indeed, and looking at the two benches as well, we have not a lot to offer in the form of the police bench. Mohammad Afzal is the only name that really would ring any bells, and he's scheduled to come off the bench. Where he will come on for is one thing that we have to worry about, whether he's going to come on at fly half or wing or scrum half. And then we have on the bench for Havelocks, we have Anjana Udara, also a big man who can make a bit of a difference. Samantha Lakshan also with plenty of experience. Kevin Dixon and Vimukti Rahula, the Josephian schoolboy as well, on the bench. So lots of people who can break a game against a tired defense. So look for Havelocks to try and run away with this in the second half or in the last quarter of the game. Surprises me actually, gentlemen, how Havelocks managed to score only 7 points. They actually got outscored 10-7 in the second half of last week's game against CH. I just don't understand how that happened.
Yeah, Shanaka, it's a case of going off the boil. Sometimes you get the feeling that, you've got this wrapped up and then you automatically start focusing on what lies ahead. That's proven to be the undoing of a lot of teams. But I'm sure Coach Laga would have addressed that with the team. Personally, as far as this game is concerned, if Police can hold Havelocks going to that last quarter, I just think that it could go either way, Shanaka.
Yes, let's have a look at this Police huddle here. Key players for them, of course, Musin Falil, I think, will be key in defense today. Try and keep Hiranta Pereira, who has been one of the Havelock's chief try scorers, at bay. And he and Chula Susanta have formed a good defensive partnership in midfield, but just not being able to form that defensive creativity. As we see the Havelocks players also going into their own huddle. Dinka Peer is in charge of today's game, so we might see quite a few penalties given here, Jeevan. So will it come down to Riza Mubarak's boot, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a crucial point. I think had Shanaka last week, had Riza Mubarak been on the field from the start, they would have scored a lot more points, on the penalties that they got. So I think anyway Havelocks will be mindful of that. That's the main reason why Riza is in this team. Dinka Piris is one of the more trigger-happy referees. So penalties will play a big part in today's game for sure.
Well, Shamri Bura at fly half, that's a big call made by Coach Laga. Bura, of course, who played for St. Peter's a couple of years ago. He's united with Rahul De Silva. So Niroshan Fernando still unavailable for selection for Havelocks, and that's called. So two real huge names in the back line, Niroshan Fernando as well as Danushka Ranjan missing, as we wait for Rimzi Jamaldeen to start today's game off. And it's underway here at Police Park, and there's an immediate mistake. A little bit of a breeze blowing from right to left here on your screen, and Rimzi Jamaldeen just overcooks that. And so we're back to the centre scrum for perhaps Radisha Sanivaratna to have his first pickup of the day.
Well, if you're a Havelocks fan, you'll be hoping that that's not a sign of things to come, Shanaka. Not really the ideal start. It really gives the ball back to the opposition, and it's a terrible way to start a game. You're all fired up, waiting for that kickoff to go, the long blast, and to charge down that ball, and then you fly half overcooks it. So let's see how Police come away with this.
Tarinder Ratwata had the same start to the game last week against Police, and he never recovered from that. Radhisha Seniviratna to Surya Arachi now. It's a cutout to Riza Mubarak, who was running at a wrong angle. And the first mistake is made from the experienced Sri Lanka fullback. Sudarshan Muthutantri's had a haircut and it's barely recognizable. Let's hope that he doesn't have a Samson-like effect on him.
Well, there are plenty of players on the field with much longer hair, so I think he could have afforded a haircut, Shanaka.
So first scrum for Havelocks here. We'll see Lasindu Ishan come into action. There's a lot of space on the blind side, but it is where the scrum half is. And talking about the new rule changes as well, from this year, the scrum half is not going to be allowed in the pocket, and that's a really good call from referee Dinka Piris, Jayan. I've seen this call just not being made by referees at school and club level, where they block the scrum half from advancing aside. The rule is that the scrum half, the attacking scrum half, can only have one leg in front of the ball, and the referee Dinka Piris calls that very well.
Yeah, Shanaka. Credit to referee Dinka for pointing that out. So police find themselves in a very good position earlier on in the game, and this is where police have lacked, Shanaka. This is where they've had the ball in vital areas of the field but come away with nothing. So let's hope that police make the most of this chance.
Yes, they don't have Romesh Acharya in their side, who has been their go-to line-out man. So Shara Fernando is someone who will probably be a target here for Achala Pereira. Indeed he is. So it's pulled down nicely in the middle of the line-out, but Havelocks defend it well by sacking Sharo, who even from the depths of that maul manages to ask for a penalty. Achala Pereira with his hands round the neck of Janik Jayasuriya. Referee lets it go though. Terence Henry goes to ground, and the referee says that ball was not coming out of the maul, and therefore turns it over to Havelock. So good work by the big man Janik Jayasuriya.
A new week, the same old problems for police, Shanaka. They just they just can't seem to get the ball back on time. This is where cohesion comes into play. The better teams in the league here, like if you take Kandy and even to some extent Havelocks SC, they have better cohesion as a team, even though they probably don't have bigger names than Kandy SC, but they play some good rugby. I mean, they come into those attacking phases and in the 22 they come away with points more often than not, which police really haven't managed to do.
Lasindu Ishan goes off the back, taken to ground by Sharo Fernando. It's cleared at the base by Rahul De Silva, and it's a decent touch finder of his left foot, and gives plenty of options when you have a scrum half who can kick that well from the base. Doesn't really put your fly half under too much pressure.
Interesting to see where the ball goes now, Shanaka. Do they keep the ball and maul it, or do they have their three quarters take the ball up, which I probably think is a better way to go?
Well, they've lost their shape immediately. They've gone for the short line out, and they've gone to Terence Henry. And it looks like they're playing sevens rugby here. Radhisha Seniviratna in the middle, using his low center of gravity to good effect. Sudham Surya Rachi goes laterally. Gayan holding that ball up. Good strength by the Havelocks defense, but he manages to go to ground. Sudham Surya Rachi goes in after that ball, and Achala Pereira smashes straight into Rimsi Jamaldeen. In fact, it's Shehan Das on the fringes. That's a lovely ball out, but great cover defense by Prasad Madhushan, who read that beautifully. Still available though for police. This is much better from the home team. Nice angle by Shara Fernando. Made some good yards there. Surya Rachi. Rehan Veerakun. Hammered in the middle of the park. Chula Susantha.
Use it! Break! Again, more ball!
And held up, says the referee. So good defense from Havelocks. They managed to force the turnover once again, but encouraging signs from police.
Encouraging, Shanaka. It's probably the best spell of rugby I've seen them play all season. Unfortunately, decision making was not quite right, and I think the ball needed to go out wide there, and they just couldn't make that happen. But that's good. The boys will be buoyed by that phase of play.
I think Police have played much better when Rehan Veerakone has been in the side. The match that they won against Navy, a very close game. Rehan managed to control that even at the end and create some overlaps. So his absence has been quite problematic for Police. Shara Fernando already taking a few shots to the face. He will be someone who's dished them out a few times in his career as well, so he won't mind that. Havelocks. Rahul De Silva calling the shots. He's suddenly turned out to be the senior man in this Havelocks setup.
Well, it's really heartening to see a schoolboy player come through and really take ownership and to take a more leadership role in the side, Shanak. I think it shows how much talent we really have in the school circuit, and we need more and more players who excel at school level, really make the grade at club level. Unfortunately, there's been a bit of dearth of it, which is why you don't see, sides like Police and all have that depth that they really should be having.
One problem, both of you are involved in school coaching, but sometimes, like we see in the national cricket team as well, players come to the higher level and get worse. It was a nice 8-9-14 move. Sadun Herat leaves a lovely inside ball to Rahul De Silva, who was supporting well. Now the forwards need to get there. Good ball presentation, and Sadun does well. Janik Jayasuriya shows and goes. Good break from the second row forward. Rahul again. This is Liston Flatley. Barging his way forward. Randhira needs to get out of there. Shamri Bura steps nicely off his left foot. It's still going. Has to look for the offload. Can't find it. He had plenty of support. Police falling off their first time tackles. It's available again for Rahul, who goes on the right side. Riza Rafaidin was up quickly, and it was good hands from Havelocks, which Sadun managed to control nicely. But it was offside, well offside in fact, from that defensive line. And Rimzi Jamaldeen will look for the points here, or do Police think, or do they think they had Police on the back foot there?
Yeah, I think this is a correct call to go for the line out, Shanaka. They've got Police on the back foot. First time they've come into the Police half, and they look really, really confident, and they're just punching holes at will here. They know that Police don't have the options at the line out, so they don't have to try too hard to win this ball. And looking at the way their forwards are playing, they might just keep the ball there for a while.
Sadun Herat making the aggressive call, kicking to the corner. And now the first job they have to do is win the line out. Most teams sometimes, especially at this level, think 2 paces ahead, so they forget that they've got to win the line out. Prasad Madhushan goes nicely to the back. Oh dear, that was straight off the face of Shehan Dayas, who was trying to peel around the back of that. Poor execution there.
You have to feel for the hooker, you get your number 6 throw spot on, and then you go botch the ball like that, Shanaka. It's very unfortunate. But Havelocks have showed just how much firepower they possess in this side. And, if they can keep the phases together, Police were at 6s and 7s in that last passage of play. So it's looking good for Havelocks.
Yes, Laga has deliberately chosen his biggest forward pack of those available to him, of course. So he will be wanting to put some pressure on this heavy scrum. Radhisha Seniviratna, channel 1 ball comes away quickly. Muthutantri brings him down. Charged down by Rehan Veerakone's kick, charged down.
That sort of thing shouldn't be happening, Shanaka, this level. You're supposed to read the defenses and know that, if you can't take the ball up, you should have a 12 outside you who's going to kick the ball out. That just shows the lack of, what can I say, the lack of, match game thinking, the coach can teach you so much, but when you get on the park, you need to know what's happening around you. And unfortunately, Police seem to be struggling a bit in that department.
Yes, and Mushin Falil has played at fly half, he's played at centre, he's played at full back. So he's a guy with a boot on him, and Just shift it once and get a better kick. Shows that you need to understand your teammates. They haven't played together very much, both these players at 10 and 12. And watch for Lasindu Ishan here. That's nice body position from the Havelock's scrum. Sharo Fernando, how did he manage to get his hand in there and remain bound? Referee's got his arm up and he's only going to give a knock on. It's a slight wheel there and police managed to defend it well.
Credit to police there, Shanak. I thought they disrupted that scrum. You know, Havelock's all they needed was a very good platform from which to have Lasindu Ishan break off, and then it was going to be very difficult for police to contain them. But they're right to have really struck it out, and they'll hope to do the same here.
So that's twice now in really good attacking positions. They've squandered the set piece, and that's what makes coach really tear his hair out. De Silva feeds, and that's a good wheel from police once again. They force Lasindu Ishan onto the side he didn't want to go to. Rahul De Silva, that's now a very flat attacking line from Havelocks. Looks like they've lost a player as well. Janik Jasuria is holding his shoulder. And Achala Pereira coming away from that. Rahul De Silva does well to bring down the big hooker. And Sudham Suryarachi thinks, I'll do this myself. And that's not a bad kick at all from the young scrum half. Manages to bounce it out into touch. That's excellent play from Sudham Suryarachi, and a good brave defense from police.
Yeah, interesting start by police, Shanaka. I don't know about you, Shanaka, but I do see a big difference between the police team that turned up last week and the police team that has turned up this week. They seem to be a lot more cohesive and, a bit more purposeful in what they do.
Absolutely, Jivan, and I think it's all down to that number 10 position. You've got an incumbent there who knows how to boss a game. Rehan Veerakun is not going to set the world alight. He's not the next Dan Carter or anything, but he's what this police team need.
Yeah, correct. And Mushin Falil and Chura Susanta aren't any slouches either. They're not bad players. They're good players. They're probably not at their best, but, maybe if you have a good 10 inside you, it could make a world of a difference.
Police look to contest this line out, and Ganidul Lakshan takes it very well. And Shamri Bura looks to shift it off to Hiranta Pereira. Coming up from deep is Randita Varnapura. Another breakdown for a high tackle. The referee says that that tackle slid up too far. And Shamri Bura will be tasked with kicking this one out. It's good to see him back on the park. He had a fairly serious knee problem at St. Peter's. Taken some time to recover and now back in club colours. Talented player. Got lots of skill, but his work rate was something that his school coaches were worried about. Good crowd gathered here today at Police Park. Here at Field Force headquarters, there's no shortage of personnel, but there's lots of non-forces spectators also at this game. Hiranta Pereira goes behind his runner, and the referee says that that was an obstruction. Mubarak with the wind, and police in the 22 for the second time. And it's still 0-0 on the scoreboard, gentlemen. You'd have expected some points already. It's been nearly 20 minutes that this game has gone on, so both sides taking a long time to suss each other out.
Yes, Shanak. Unfortunately, both sides are guilty of coughing up the ball at crucial passages of play. So let's see if police come away with any points at the second time of asking.
Prasad Madhushan on the left of your screen there. CRNFC let him go, but Havelocks have taken him in with open arms, and he's repaid them with a hat-trick of tries last week and plenty of tries before that as well. Good line-out moves that they've worked. Gayan Dilshan goes up in the front of the line-out. They peel off the back. Henry, that's a great rip from Lasindo Ishan. Straight in from the side, says the referee. I'm not sure whether that was in the face before or whether it was at that particular occasion, because I thought Lasindo Ishan was fine. Must have been before that.
It's a bit of a strange call, but I just noticed, Shanak, someone like Bilal Hassan would have done wonders to this side this weekend. Police are really going to miss him, because from those set pieces and anywhere within the 10-meter mark from the opposition goal line, he's very lethal, because he's got that relatively low center of gravity and really packs a punch.
Yeah, they've really missed him at the back of the scrum. He hasn't been able to add to his top try scorer's tally of 8 tries. He's missed several of the police games. May have missed about 4 or 5 games, and that's overthrown. That's a bad mistake from Achala Pereira on his jumper, Sharo Fernando. And taken quickly by Havelocks. Not sure that's the wisest decision they've ever made. And Bura now thumps it back, but Riza Mubarak is back. And will put this one high up and under and chase it himself. Almost beautifully taken by Riza. It went forward. Oh dear, what was going on there? Shamri Bura tried to palm it on to a player who was well in front of him. And referee Dinkapir is playing, rightly playing the advantage. And police get the opportunity of points. Gayan Dilshan takes this quickly. This is going to be the first try for police. Tries to get it down, just couldn't manage to get it down. Well over the line, that police player there.
That was a very lazy passage of play by Havelocks, Shanaka. And, dropping the ball is one thing, but then you need to be alive about what's happening around you. And, they got away with murder there. If someone like Sharif or even Bilal Hassan was on hand, that would have been a 5-point then and there. But looks like very much like police are going to be the first team to break the deadlock, Shanaka.
Yeah, it looks like it indeed. I'm surprised they didn't manage to do that, because Randhira Silva, he went over the line, just couldn't manage to dot the ball down though. Good defense from Tanik Jasuri on the ground. And all rucks and mauls cease to exist after the try line is passed, so you can do whatever you like to keep the ball off the ground, which is exactly what Jasuria did. But watch for the police number 8, Radhisha Seniviratna here. He's a small lad, graduated from scrum half to play in the back row. Needs to pick this up quickly though, and Havelocks managed to completely destroy the scrum. Still going is Radhisha Seniviratna, manages to maul his way to the line. How on earth did he manage to do that? Almost commando crawled his way to the line there. Outstanding little bit of play.
That's outstanding bit of play, Shan. If you notice, he placed the ball on the ground, which enabled him to pick the ball up and run again. He didn't since the tackle was completed. And I think that caught Havelocks completely by surprise. So that's a good gameplay, good appreciation of the rules. And like I said, it's a different weekend, because police seem to be the side that's on the up at the moment, Shanaka.
Yes, first 5-pointer. And Havelocks will need to regroup quickly. Considerable lack of experience in this Havi's side, so I would imagine Riza Mubarak will knock this one over with his eyes closed. So 7 points to nil after they've had most of the play. Mubarak with the extra 2 points, so Jeevan, surprising that Havelocks find themselves down on the scoreboard. But there's not a long time to go before half-time. They're going to have to regroup pretty quickly and get some points in this half before they go in for that break.
Yeah, surprising on reputation, Shanaka, but certainly not on what we've seen today on how the teams have fared this afternoon. Police have, like I said earlier, a lot more purpose in their approach today. And having said that, I think Radisha Senivaratna has really grown over the season, and we haven't given him enough credit. And as you just saw there, the fullest appreciation for the rules and the calm and collectiveness just to keep the ball and go over the line. Excellent stuff.
Rimsi Jamaldeen goes short, beautifully taken by Sudarshan Mututantri. Why he can't do that for the Sri Lanka Sevens team more often, I don't know, but they've turned it over. And that's beautifully intercepted by Prasad Madhushan, brought down by Sudham Suryarachi. But the referee has brought it back for a knock forward. He'd played the advantage. And that's an interesting one, isn't it, Jeevan? Because the advantage law very clearly states that it's not a second bite at the cherry. So police were working that line, they had a man over, and it was beautifully read and intercepted by Prasad Madhushan. So do you call them back and say, hey, you had the advantage, you couldn't take it at that point, do you bring them back and give them a second chance? Or do you say, sorry mate, you had your chance, you didn't take it, and this is how the ball rolls?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Shana. In fact, I've heard that some people say that after you pass the ball, after two passes, the advantage ceases to exist. I think whether that's a matter of practice. So I've never seen it in the laws. So maybe that's just established practice that certain referees follow. But you're right there, because if it's not a second bite of the cherry, then play on, because you had good possession of the ball, you had an overlap, and you botched it. So, different jurisdiction, different result, Shanaka.
Yes, the rule for the referees to follow is that there must be tactical or territorial advantage gained by the team, as we see Musin Falil gaining a good territorial advantage for his side by a good ball carry. Sharo Fernando. Hiranta Pereira tries to go low on him, and Sharo manages to bump him off. Rehan Veerakund stands nice and deep. No guessing what he was going to do. Rimsi Jamaldeen completely misses that one. Gihan Silva manages to get the ball in his hand, but Rimsi recovered quickly enough to make a cover tackle. Little bit of miscommunication between Thiagaraja and Jamaldeen there.
Yeah, that was a complete, comedy of errors there, Shanaka. Having said that, I thought there was a lot of space on the far corner, and police could have easily plugged that hole and gained some territory there. But end of the day, not a bad result. Havelock seemed a little shell-shocked, Shanaka. There doesn't seem to be anybody there putting their hand up, wanting to calm the storm and, steady the ship here.
Well, the thing is that Sandun Herath is right out on the wing, and he's the captain, the senior player. Sudarshan Mudutantri has a few tactical issues with his leadership. I've brought this up time and again. But that's a better call from whoever made it. Good up and under from Havelocks. Riza takes it beautifully. This is why we were arguing last week that he should have been an automatic inclusion in the side. And now Musin Falil has some space. Chooses not to give it out, but now Terence Henry has it. Chooses to go himself. That's a good run from the big man. Manages to get the ball away to Chula Susanta. Chula uses his strength. And now Terence Henry again standing wide outside. Looking to drag in defenders.
Go forward!
This is good stuff, Shanaka. I'm really enjoying this. I'm sure our viewers are too. A lot more intensity this week and purpose here shown by these players. And this is more what people pay money to see.
Well, again, police trying but not getting anywhere. They're going laterally but not really having the penetration. Dushmanta Priyadarshana signaling that Janik Jasuria is not quite out of the woods with that shoulder injury he picked up a few minutes ago.
Police have really come to play today, Shanaka. It's a shame that on certain occasions where there were overlaps on either side, they preferred to, or should I say, they opted to put boot to ball, and saw that opportunities go begging. So if they could just line up a bit more narrower, a bit deeper, and get the ball through the hands, perhaps use the blind side a bit more, I think that'll really bring forth a lot more positive results, and see them really take the game to Havelocks.
Yes, Sudham Suryarachi hasn't played all this season as a scrum half, so Rehan Veerakun also coming back into the side. That combination between 9 and 10 and 10 and 12. Rehan is the one who's got to set that line. He's got to be like the wicket keeper and decide where he stands. Hiranta Pereira now puts the hammer down. That's a great fend. Lovely step as well. Long ball out to Rehan Thiagaraja. Steps inside. So Radhisha Seniviratne burrowing through but not able to pick the ball up. And now Police once again have it, and they have the advantage as well. So knock forward. So referee Dinka Parish will come back and give Police the scrum down. But Hiranta Pereira showing why he can be such a danger man.
So Havelocks have all the players, but Police are playing all the rugby, Shanaka.
Yes, it's a surprise indeed. Havelocks have made a few clean breaks, Bura and now Hiranta Pereira in the back line, but they just haven't been able to convert. The thing about Sudarshan Muthutanthri is that he commits to the breakdown so much. Sometimes he forgets to support the ball carrier.
Papare bans at rugby matches, Shanaka. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that have been well documented, Jan, and don't warrant repeating in a public forum.
Trick question, Shanaka.
It's a sign of the times.
If Police manage to get a penalty kick over and go 10 points ahead, Shanaka, that will give Coach Laga and Havelocks a lot of problems, Shanaka.
Yes, it will indeed. 2 scores and they have problems. And the referee calling a wheel there. I don't know about you, but I'm always guessing. Even if I'm in the front row and packed down, I don't know who's done what sometimes. So
I
it's
personally feel that's the wrong call, Shanaka. I thought Police should have played the ball. They had the option of playing the ball and they didn't, and it wheeled. And I believe the ball should have gone to Havelocks. But, referee Dinka will call it the way he sees it, and to be fair by him, I thought he's had a fairly decent game, Shanaka.
Yes, he has indeed. And as long as he's consistent in the scrums, that's all we can ask for. But some interesting rule changes, gentlemen, and when it's at the number 8's feet, the new rules are going to dictate that it has to be used immediately unless the scrum is moving forward. So they brought the maul rule back to affect the scrums as well. So that's good because the ball will be in play much sooner.
You know, as a rugby fan, the last thing you want to see is scrums being reset and reset and reset. So I believe that will speed things up. And unless you're really dominating the scrum, the play should be allowed to carry on.
Bit of interchange of passes there. Hiranta Pereira running through quickly on Musin Falil, but he manages to get the ball out. And Rafaidin has his first touch of the game at the half-an-hour mark. And now Suryarachi brings it back. The Havelocks... the Police forwards are still loafing about here in midfield. They're saving the energy for something. Perhaps it's going to be a all-out attack now. Radhisha Seniviratne, almost a lone man in this Havelock forward pack, and that time Radhisha gets pinged for holding on. Absolutely no support. The Police big men are waiting outside to run the ball instead of actually getting to the breakdown to protect it. So maybe they're relaxing now that they've gone into a lead. This is Havelock's chance to really get into the half. Rehan Thiagaraja was running through on that one. And it's a penalty. Well, I'm not sure that's the right call at all. Thiagaraja was juggling the ball. And Risa Mubarak went through on him in a perfectly legal tackle.
I think that's a spectator's penalty, Shanaka, because like you said, Thiagaraja juggling the ball and he was entitled to tackle him. So Dinka Peiris has got this one wrong. Because if you could argue, Shanaka, that if that was the case, then it should be a penalty try. Because there was nobody else there, it would have been a certain try.
Yes, it was the equivalent of the last man in football, making a late challenge or a foul on the ball carrier. So,
Speaking of football, Shanaka, must-win game for Arsenal tomorrow.
well, against Leicester, that's going to be stolen. Poetic justice there. And Surya Rachi will clear well as also. And taken quickly by Rahul De Silva to Sudarshan Muthutantri, who gets up quickly. And Musin Falil drives through with his right shoulder. Now they've got numbers on the outside. Hiranta Pereira puts a little chip kick in. The grubber beats everyone into touch, and Risa Mubarak will gratefully run this one out. Well, it's 3 playing 1, isn't it, Jayan? And given what Leicester did to Manchester City last week, I think Arsenal will be a little apprehensive going into this game.
Yeah, well, I'm confident. I've got my away so I believe it's a do-or-die game, but we'll wait and see.
Well, from what the Leicester Tigers and Martin Johnson did for that City, Claudio Ranieri seems to be doing with Jamie Vardy in the football as well. The different code of football, a nice execution of the peel to Liston Flatley. Going blindside again, Rahul De Silva. Stripping through, almost scoring but knocking the ball on. And the referee says that
I thought that was
standing in front,
offside
offside.
by Rahul. He knew that the players were offside, and he just ran into them and committed them to got them committed to take him out, and he really milked that penalty. But they have to come away the point, Shanaka. They're better off going for goal if this doesn't work out.
Well, it's a quick tap. Haven't seen one of those in a while at this stage of the game. Liston Flatley. But Shanaka is penalised, but the referee might look to go to his pocket here if Havelocks are going to keep infringing in the red zone. Or at least a general warning for the team, but yes, that's exactly what's going to happen now. Referee speaking to Chanaka Udara, the police captain, and saying that's the warning. Next one goes to the bin. Quick tap again to Muthutantri. He's all on his own. Rahul De Silva, it's almost in slow motion here. Janik Jasure gets driven back. That's good strength in the tackle from police. Liston Flatley, the big man, takes his braids into contact. Radhisha Seniviratna lies all over the ball, and Dushmantha Priyadarshana borrows his way over, but it's held up. And Dushmantha, with his face in the ground, he thought he got that one down. Eventually, perhaps he did, but when the referee blew, it was held up. So Havelocks throwing their Trojan horses at this line, just unable to breach.
Credit to police there for preventing Havelocks from going over. Havelocks looked like for all money that they had men over, they had the size, they had the men put through the space by Rahul, but still no cigar.
Yes, no cigar. But now
The flankers bind
Lashin to Ishan.
Shanaka, that blind side is looking very inviting, isn't it?
Well, it's hardly a blind side given where we are. But yes, it looks
Sit.
it looks really very inviting because there's only 2 defenders on that side, and the first one is a long way away. But it's a good wheel once again from police. They've managed to turn Lasindhu Ishan into the side that he doesn't want to be, and Shauro Fernando has done excellently to hold him up for as long as he did. And that, I must say, is outstanding defense.
Tap and go. I don't think that was the correct call, Shanaka. I mean, at this stage in the game, tap and go. Why would you want to do that?
Small ball. I said once.
And I can understand if you're going to tap and fling it wide and you give it to your front row. I mean,
Up, boys, up.
And this goes back to the first call that they made, Jeevan, in the opening minutes, when they had police on the back foot and looked to go to
It's
the
your time.
corner and then botched that line out and the scrum. Suddenly they got absolutely no return,
out.
and police have 7 points. So
Fine.
all down to making the right calls at the right times.
Break, break.
Both scrum halves pointing at something that they think they can milk.
Prop leader, captain. Muthu.
Terence Henry yelling for some water.
I didn't know that you can stop the match to have water, Shanaka.
Well, somebody's at least got to go down and have a token injury, surely.
Well, everyone seems to be up discussing evening plans. There doesn't seem like anyone's injured, but then, well, perhaps there is someone with a niggle.
Having a small break to talk about the social, I think, Shanaka. Yeah.
Do they still have those socials, Shanaka? They used to be very enjoyable affairs.
Well, they.
I mean, I remember I played one full club season, and we weren't really paid back then. But the social was probably all you got, and you made the most of it.
I think now what happens more often than not is the food is packeted and given to the away team to take on the bus with them. It's a real shame because the camaraderie.
Packeted, Shanaka? Did you say packeted?
Yes, packeted. Mushin Fali, lovely ball out to Gihan Silva now, and the referee's called a forward. Couldn't quite see it from our camera angle here. But Musin Falil, if that pass was forward, will have a case to make against his recipient because he should have been at a position where he could have taken that without his ball carrier having to pass it forward. Remember, Grant Dwyer used to always say that 50% of the problem is with the support runner.
Right, crouch! Fine!
So police are getting very lucky to get out of there, but now Havelocks have a chance once again. The extra man in the line with that pickup. Long ball to Sandun Herat from Hiranta Pereira. Well taken by Riza Mubarak. Excellent technique in the tackle. And now they've got it through Mudutantri. So long ball out to Prasad Madhushan. Nice cutout pass. And the little hooker pumps his legs.
Knock forward.
And Dushman, the Priyadarshana, everyone saw him coming.
Keep the ball. Ball.
And police making themselves a nuisance in defense.
Police back, please. Keep the ball.
I think Dinka wants to just sort out a bit of argy-bargy, I think.
Yeah, okay, I'll check.
I think there's quite a bit of off-the-ball stuff going on in
Correct,
Jivan. Going to have a chat with his assistant.
Maybe the Havelocks players aren't happy about the dinner packet.
Well, perhaps not. And they look like they'll need a few of them. Given the way that this game has gone, the forwards have been called to do quite a bit of heavy lifting. But coming back to your point, Jan, it is rather a shame that these teams don't have the camaraderie that they used to have. And professionalism is no excuse really, because at the highest level, at the highest professional level, you see teams like the Super Rugby teams and even the international teams have a lot of time for each other after games, and that's a culture that somehow has eroded in Sri Lanka.
Yes, Shana, even at the highest level, like you said, you see teams play very aggressively against each other, and they don't, hold any punches, and it's fierce stuff on the field. But soon after that final whistle, you see them embracing each other, and those socials, they play a very, very vital part in the sport itself, and that's what distinguishes rugby from every other sport. Because you forget about it, you talk about the good times, and you just meet up and have a beer and forget about it. And speaking of the club scene, that's something that as a player I used to really enjoy, having a beer with someone afterwards, talking about how life is. Because as you hang up the boots, those are things that you really remember, and you bump into each other soon afterwards and you remember those moments.
Absolutely, and I hope that sort of culture is instilled at school level so that it can be carried forward with them to club level as well. Sirens going off.
That's not the halftime hooter, is it, Shanaka?
Well, I thought it was for a moment, but looks like there might be a chopper landing or something. They've cleared the whole area on the far side touchline as we watch this scrum from behind. Mubarak does well. And police finally clear their lines. Havelocks, for no lack of effort, just couldn't get over the try line there.
You know,
So-
Havelocks have to figure a way, Shanak, of taking the
Center.
hit up through the 12-13 channel and getting the police
okay.
3/4 and the third row sucked in, because they have the players, but unfortunately playing too
Time.
much rugby, but not putting men out wide in space.
Well, we're seeing, it's not on your screen here. Might as well show it to you if we can. But there's a chopper landing on the far side of this police grounds, just wide of the cricket square.
Time on. Out.
So we really have seen it all, haven't we, Shanaka?
Yes, I was wondering where the police are flying in their replacements. Game will go on regardless. And Ganidul Lakshan wins this ball in the line out, and Hiranta Pereira. It's a nice short ball to Lasindu Ishan. And it's quick ball finally for Havelocks, and Shamri Bura puts it to his boot. Chasing and turning and chasing is Chula Susanta, who does well.
Line out.
And they'll come back for the penalty for Shara Fernando, who pitched this one off. So it's a quick stopover for the chopper. It's a pit stop, literally. He's off again. Probably the chopper bringing the halftime drinks, perhaps. Dropped them off and left. There he goes. Thanks, mate.
Line out. Everyone is line up. It is live.
This has got to be the last play for the half, Shanaka. So police have to just hang on here, and they've done a decent job. It'll be a shame if they leak a try here.
Must say the police team much more motivated. Oh dear, why did Achala Pereira throw that one in? Should probably have walked the ball out. There's yet another chopper coming down here, and it's coming down pretty damn close to the people who are sitting there. Ramsey Jamaldeen had a bit of a look over his shoulder and couldn't believe what he saw for a moment.
Right, crouch.
Quickly got out of the way.
Five.
But now the much larger Sri Lanka Air Force chopper has landed, and police will gratefully kick this one out to touch. And the 40 minutes comes to an end. It has been police's half, despite Havelocks really throwing everything they had at the police line in the last few moments of the game. But it looks like we might have a lot to play for at the end of it, with the home team leading by 7 points to 0. And that from one particular foray into the opposition 22, they came away with points. Havelocks will get a bit of a talking to. If I know anything about Laga, he won't hold his horses at this halftime chat. And police will just have to do more the same. Defend, and try to get their game breakers into this game a little bit more, with Riza Rafaidin and Chula Susanta carrying the ball a little bit more often. So that's the story from Jeevan, Jayan and myself here at halftime. We'll be back as the second 40 minutes starts in just a few moments. You're on ThePapare.com. Don't go anywhere.
serving over 240 million customers across Asia. Axiata, advancing Asia.
Now transact with over 40 million EasyCash customers via Dialog, Etisalat and Hutch. Dial #111# to register today. Now use selected commercial bank ATMs to withdraw EasyCash at your convenience.
Now I can withdraw EasyCash from any commercial bank ATM which displays the EasyCash logo. Select cardless transactions. Select your preferred language. Select EasyCash. Type in the amount you need. Enter your EasyCash account number. You will receive a message onto your mobile. Enter your EasyCash PIN and send to complete your transaction.
Now use commercial bank ATMs to withdraw EasyCash at your convenience. Call 7111 for more information. EasyCash, money in your mobile.
Connect to Sri Lanka's largest Wi-Fi network with over 2,500 hotspots across the country. Cafes, restaurants, colleges, hospitals, bus stands, train stations and many more. Select Dialog Wi-Fi and visit wifi.dialog.lk to register and get your username and password. Choose from 4 easy ways to top up your account. Go Wi-Fi, go Dialog.
Sri Lanka is a small but proud nation, and we know we can conquer the world. So to me, it's important not to settle for anything but the best. Dialog Television is our window to the world. It brings us the widest range of knowledge, information and entertainment from across Sri Lanka and the globe, from education for our kids to the latest movies. Dialog Television, powered by the very latest in digital satellite technology, connects the world to every Sri Lankan home. Dialog is the future today.
Don't be constrained. Be versatile, be flexible. You have the power. Set talk time, SMS and data quotas to match your style and enjoy the full potential of your mobile package. It's my plan from Dialog. Absolute power to you.
To create your own plan, visit www.dialog.lk/myplan or call 1777 for more information.
Now, reserving your train tickets is as easy as reaching for your Dialog mobile. Just dial 444 and get instantly connected with the Dialog Expo Rail ticket reservation service. A new and hassle-free way to discover the breathtaking sights and sounds of Sri Lanka is now conveniently at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Dial 444 to reserve your Expo Rail train ticket today. Dialog, the future today.
This is iPhone 6s. Not much has changed, except it responds to the pressure of your finger. So you can peek into stuff. And pop stuff open, which changes how you play a song. Read a text. Read an email. Read the news. Wait, you read the news?
Yep.
Of course you do. Now you can change apps like this. Pay at more places like this. And the new color looks like this. It's rose gold, it's awesome. And Siri is more helpful than ever.
Hey Siri, show me photos of tortellini.
Here are some images of tortellini. Maybe get takeout? The camera shoots 4K video now, which changes how your movies look. Nice. Even selfies have changed. Now your screen is the flash. That's gonna get like 1 million likes.
Thanks.
Actually, photos themselves have changed. They move now. You just touch them. So yeah, that's what's changed.
Now transact with over 40 million EasyCash customers via Dialog, Etisalat and Hutch. Dial #111# to register today. Now use selected commercial bank ATMs to withdraw EasyCash at your convenience.
Now I can withdraw EasyCash from any commercial bank ATM which displays the EasyCash logo. Select cardless transactions. Select your preferred language. Select EasyCash. Type in the amount you need. Enter your EasyCash account number. You will receive a message onto your mobile. Enter your EasyCash PIN and send to complete your transaction.
Now use commercial bank ATMs to withdraw EasyCash at your convenience. Call 7111 for more information. EasyCash, money in your...
Very good afternoon and welcome back to Police Park here as we are about to commence the second half of this Dialog Rugby A Division League match. between Police and Havelock. So surprise leaders at halftime are Police. Havelock's the second place team in the competition so far, have not been able to get a point on the board. And Coach Laga will be hoping that that all changes in this half. Box kick from Rahul De Silva. That's an excellent kick actually. Really giving his chasers an opportunity, but nobody wanted it. And Rehan Weerakun is the man who plays one bump.
Keep the ball.
And the first penalty goes to Havelocks.
If you're a Police supporter, you'll
Tackle,
be
keep the ball
hoping for
down.
more of the same of the first half. Not the what can I say, not the prettiest bit of rugby, but Police were very effective and took their chances. Havelocks haven't been in the races, Shanaka.
Yes, Reza Mubarak does well to collect that one. But nobody finding touch. It looks like the wind has changed from left to right on your screen. Rimzi Jamaldeen trying to make up for a botch earlier. Lovely run from him. Steps through. Really a beguiling run. And don't expect a man of his particular girth at the moment to be able to turn on that that pace.
Wrong option there,
Finish him
Shanaka. I
now.
think Havelocks have to get the ball out wide. That's where their strength is. This is just not going to work. Police are manning up and really stopping them in their tracks. So Havelocks need to get some width on the ball here.
That's a nice angle run by
Release it!
They've got to make it quickly. And now Liston Flatley again isolated, but they're slowing down the attack, as Jayan said. Got to send it through the hands to this man, Sandun Herath, who's now coming into a scrum half to look for the ball. Good tackle. And now Sandun again. Long ball out. This one's to Rehan Thiagaraja. Pirouettes off his left foot. And now Rahul looks for options. Finds one in Shamri Bura. Bura dummies. Now fends. Still going. Gets away from Achala Pereira. Now he's smashed in a tackle, and Janik Jayasuriya manages to pick the ball up and secure it. So good continuity from Havelock, but the option taking is not great. And Terence Henry interferes with that ball, but it's a high tackle called earlier. And Sadun Herath charges onto that ball. Prasad Madhushan, in the absence of the scrum half, has to stay on his feet. Shahan Dash crashes towards the line. Rahul De Silva goes over. Almost over. And it's a try. The try is given. I thought Rahul had gone over, and Lasin Vishan is a man that comes away with the ball. Manages to rip it off his scrum half and dot it down in the melee there. And you can clearly see that whatever coach Javita Tulangesi said at half time has wrung the ears of these boys.
It's important that Police just shake this off, Shanaka. And, you know, we've seen Police just go to pieces when they've fallen behind on the scoreboard. Let's hope that this is not the case with this particular side that's lined up this week. They played well, but unfortunately that error in defense in letting Rimzi Jamaldeen through has proved very costly. For Havelocks, it's just the bitter lemons they needed at halftime. I'm sure Laga would have had a few stern words. And, well, whatever comes, we're waiting for quite an entertaining bit of rugby here.
Doctor.
Well, you can see Rimzi Jamaldeen, who started off that resurgence from Havelocks, looking to knock the 2 points over and get them level on the scoreboard. Really talented player, has lost his way a little bit in terms of his conditioning. And the kick is good, but still has the occasional spark in him. As he runs back, you can see that he's gained a little muscle, shall we say, from his time as captain of Royal a couple of years ago.
But you got 7 points. You got 7 points. Huh?
So Police don't look like in a great deal of a hurry to Good kick there, but Shahan Das leaves it behind, and Rahul De Silva gratefully.
Yeah, it's carried back, yeah.
But it was carried back, and so it'll be a line out for Police in the 22. So again, a mistake just after the restart, Jeevan.
It's a common thing in local rugby, Shanaka, that just after you score a try, you give the other team the initiative again by making an error at the kickoff. It happens time and time again, and it's very upsetting for a coach and the bench, when that happens. But, it just has a happy knack of recurring. So Police can make amends for that little defensive lapse here and, strike back. The important thing here is that, they have to just forced an error, and with the penalty, they've got a certain 3 points with Riza Mubarak in your side.
Sharo Fernando claims he was interfered with. Jayasuriya rumbles forward. And Rahul De Silva with that almost backward kick that he has managed to perfect. Riza Mubarak takes it safely in face of tremendous pressure. Prasad Madhushan! He was denied a try earlier with the same move and manages to get the try this time around. What an outstanding bit of play from the hooker. You can see he waits for it, he reads it. And that was a Dane Coulsian try. A 50-meter dash from the hooker. And following up from his hat-trick last week against CH, Jeevan, this will be a very important try scored by the Havies hooker.
My goodness, the people at Havelock are not going to hear the end of this one, Shanaka. They've been talking about this one for a long, long time.
Yeah, I don't think many people will hear the end of this one. Well, it was beautifully read by Prasad, and obviously he makes a habit of it because he almost got away with an intercept try in the first half. Just called back. But that was a great burst. There was nobody at home to catch him.
Yeah, we're so used to seeing Brian Habana do that for the Springboks, Shanaka. Talent seems to come in different forms and shapes.
Well, the aesthetic was a little different this time around, but the result entirely the same. So Police find themselves having to trudge back to halfway.
Well, what this will do is it will force Police to play rugby. They can't just sit back and put the ball into the corners anymore or kick away the ball. They have to have the ball in hand, and this we'll probably see one of two outcomes. Either Police will go to pieces, or we'll really see the best come out of Police, Shanaka.
Well, a substitution has been made by Police. Mohammad Afzal has made an advent to the field as Sudham Suryarachi takes a breather. He's had a good half, Suryarachi. And that's another intercept this time. It's Police captain Gan Udara who dots it down. Chanak Udara rather. And it's tit for tat. Dear oh dear. What are we seeing here? I've never seen this in all my years of watching rugby. I have absolutely never seen this happen.
Perhaps that was a case of, well, if a hooker can do that, anybody can do that.
Well, Gan Udara is a second row forward. As Jeevan was saying, we're used to seeing backs intercept the ball when it's being shifted wide, but when the first pass from the scrum half is intercepted, you've got to ask yourself, was the defense behind the last foot? Lots of things that you have to ask yourself, but nevertheless, it really is an interesting couple of tries. Looking at Dishant Luke walking back to his bench there at the back of your screen. Can't shake the smile off his face, but he's happy that the try has been scored. So Riza Mubarak with a very important conversion here. Straight and true. This is the importance of having a good kicker in your side.
I just cannot understand how he was left out of last week's side, Shanaka. When you have a player like this, he's going to always keep you in the game, even when things don't go your way. I just can't understand how you can leave him out.
Yes, I think it was quite disheartening for him as well. Out. The number 15. Probably the first name on the team sheet when you're picking a Sri Lanka team. Had a few problems earlier on this season with his positional play, but has worked hard. And Jamaldeen changes the angle of the kick this time. And Musin Falil gives it to Riza Rafaidin, who wasn't expecting it. And first knock on will be against the home team, and they'll be forced to defend once again. So, as we were talking about earlier, Havelock's made the error, and now Police, just after they scored, have made yet another error from the restart. As coaches, gentlemen, how do you all keep the concentration levels of your teams up at this point?
Yeah, errors after kickoff, is very common, Shanak. It's very frustrating, but it just tends to happen. It's something you really can't coach. It's about temperament, it's about composure, and it's something that that those are two ingredients which we don't see in Sri Lankan rugby, unfortunately. So it's just something you just got to live with, Shanak, and just hope for the best now, and hope that from a Police perspective they get the ball back.
Right, okay. Seconds. Right, crouch! Fine! Sit!
Silva tried to wrestle that ball away from Police players who were lying all over it. And referee Dinka Piris eventually penalizing them, and Jamaldeen will now get a chance to maybe put Havelocks ahead.
The importance of your bench, Shanaka, will come through now when you hit the 60-minute mark. You can't help but have the feeling that Havelocks are probably a bit equipped in that department. I don't know who Police have on the bench to bring on as real impact players, but Havelocks seem to be bringing on a fresh front rower, so they're not going to lose any more bulk.
No, they're not.
It's a hallmark of the modern game, isn't it, Chanaka? 60-minute mark, who do you bring on? Who do you have running at tight defenses? The classic case of Sonny Bill Williams in that World Cup final.
Yes, and that call was made early. He actually came on at half-time. So coach is not afraid to make big calls like that. This is going to be an important kick to settle Havelock's nerves. I think that might have rattled Rahul De Silva, who has controlled the game from number 9. Having his pass picked off like that. Really good composure. And Rimsi Jamaldeen. He's just one of those players, gents, that it's like Sanat Jasuria, isn't it? He can come to the party and win you a game, or he can just not be an entity.
There we go with the restart. Sudarshan and Mutantri almost kissing the touchline, but going sideways. So Havelocks once again having another penalty.
Pushing the man, number 6.
Discipline factor once again. Referee pointing
Number
out
6.
On Radisha Siniratna, I think.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sabir. It's an interesting stage in the game now. You've got to. Havelocks have just got ahead at the moment, and Police indiscipline seems to be setting in again. It's been a trademark and hallmark of the way they played their rugby this season, and it's unfortunate because they really made a fist of things today, and they just need to keep together and play rugby in the Havelocks half.
Quite interestingly, Jeevan, in the first half, both the teams got some early penalties, but they did not kick at the post.
Break
but
time.
second half, Havelocks realized after 14 all row, the win is what they need at this time.
Yeah, from the Havelock's perspective, I think they would have expected to, secure a bonus point win today. But when they found the going tough, common sense has prevailed and they decided to take points on offer. I don't really know what police were thinking, but police probably, the way they played, they were very confident about today's game for some reason.
There goes Shamripura sending it to Hiranta Pereira. Nice little pass to the replacement, number 22. This time police trying to hold him up. Looks like successful with the break. And it is a successful defense by police. We saw this in the first half, Havelock's doing to the opposition.
Yeah, police have played well today, Sabir. There's no reason to just throw it away. They're just 3 points behind. And they've got Reza Mubarak, who we all know, about his
Boys, come.
kicking potential, So anywhere within 45 meters, the chances are that he's going to get points for you. So they need not lose heart. They just got to play in the proper areas of the ground. And, maybe, things will turn their way, and they could very easily do so.
Wait, right, okay. Crouch! Find! Set!
Mohammad Afzal to feed the scrum. We are into the last quarter of this game here at Police Park. Here's the Mubarak. Looks like a foot coming into play by Radhisha Seniratna. Is that so, Jaya?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a full view of that, but Referee Dinka was right on the spot there. So it's pretty silly to pull off things. And like Jivan said, this is just indiscipline that's creeping into the game, and this is where police really let things slip. It's a shame because they played actually pretty well today.
So another opportunity for the Havelocks to put the scoreboard ticking. Sadly, they missed a win against Navy. We saw the first draw of this season, 20-all draw at Havelock Park. Despite the win last week against CHNFC, 52 points to 18. It was not a convincing second half by Park Club. Jamali. Pretty much a 40-meter penalty. Hasn't missed a single kick so far. Made 2 conversion and a penalty. Here's his second penalty kick. And that looks good. And it is good. So Havelocks already, after all this time, 6 points ahead, 20 points to 14.
Madugal!
Jan, what would police be feeling right now, Jan, after considering those 6
Well,
points?
police will feel very, very disappointed because, that last penalty was a very silly penalty to give away. They've been in this game and, just indiscipline is costing them. So they have to come back and be the next team to score here. So.
Brilliant take in the air. This is the second time gone in the Lakshan. Looks like a card coming in.
There has to be a yellow. You can't take the man up in the air.
Absolutely. We'll see what referee Dinka has to offer. As he clearly said, time off, but looks like Ganindu is a bit of bother.
Okay, shoulder.
It's one of those tough ones, Abir, It's hard to know whether the opposition is really contesting the ball or whether they're just out to disrupt your ball. So I'm not too sure what Dinka is going to blow here. He'll probably give a penalty because I don't know if he can identify any player in particular who really took that man out. So we'll wait and see.
Okay, can play. Okay, can play. Sure. But make sure when you go up, it's your responsibility to make sure the player comes down safely. Okay? Okay? Right. He is going for the ball, you're also going for the ball, but make sure you come down safely.
Good
as well
support,
as
good numbers here in the Police Park.
Get back. Time on!
I think that's a decent call by Dinka,
Man
it
on
would have
air.
been really harsh to put him in the bin too. But the players have to take more responsibility, especially when the ball's kicked in the air.
Shanaka Harishchandra, just a bit concussed on the occasion, but It's been interesting.
Havelock's two changes.
Playing his
Havelock's
second
police
match. He
change.
played last week against CHNFC Giant, but he has impressed so far with his running game, isn't it?
He has, you know, and he's looked very steady. He's kept up with play, which means that he's worked on his fitness as well. So let's hope that he continues in the same vein.
Prasad Madhusan, the try scorer, to put the throw in. Oh, brilliant take by Ganil Lakshan. Buddha once again trying to show his skills to the replacement, Kevin Dixon. Dixon going into contact. Needs some quick ball, Rahul De Silva. Havelock's forward, marching forward.
Release now! Release!
A bit wayward pass by Rahul, but Sadun Herat puts that kick into chase.
In front!
Looks like an offside play.
Penalty house from here.
Looks like Prasad
Penalty house
Madhushankar
from
is
here.
running
Kick
before
out.
the kick
Man in front,
made
penalty.
by Sadun
Man in
Herat.
front.
Well, for a hooker to outpace everyone, he needs a bit of an advantage, and I think he probably was in front there, Sabir. So, police very much still in the game.
Center. Havelock's. Havelock's here.
And another replacement coming for the Park Club. That's Shehan Dai has been replaced. And Rohit Rajapaksha is in. Achille Pera with the throw in. Nicely taken. Afzal sending it to Adisha Seniratna, and Mushin Falil cuts through. Slide knock on by Ganuka Disanayak, but referee says play on. As Afzal changes direction, Henry Tredence going into contact. Dushmant Priyadarshan, his opposite number, bringing him down. Offside advantage coming to police. Clear line offside on that occasion by the men in pink. Interesting call, decision making.
Yeah, it's a tough one. There's still time left in the games, and with Riza Mubarak kicking the way he is, probably makes more sense to just give him the ball and him to get the 3 points over. It's right in front, so you wouldn't expect Riza to miss this kick. So, police still very much in it, Sabir. They'll hope to get the ball back. We just might be in for an upset here, who knows?
We never know. And also Coach Laga will be waiting for the results of tomorrow's big clash, CRNFC versus Kandy. That's of course at Nitavela. We'll bring you live action from 4:30 p.m. onwards. And Riza Mubarak nails it once again. So both the kickers from both the sides doing well for their respective teams. So it's 17 points to 20 in favor of Havelocks.
You okay?
The clock on your screen shows 12 minutes remaining, but it's not the referee's clock, just to inform you. But it's always good to have this start in the 4:30 start in this terrible weather condition, Jeevan.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, half an hour in these conditions makes a big difference, Shabir. You know, 4 o'clock was just too hot to play rugby. You know, I've just come from the inter-school sevens tournament, under 18 sevens tournament, and I was just thinking, my God, rugby was not meant to be played in this weather.
Let's get more update from under 18. But here, Sandun Hera, the skipper, trying to make some room. Rahul De Silva to Ganuka Disanaika, who played for Sri Lanka, but it's quite strange that he's not starting anymore for Havelocks. Janik Jayasuriya.
No, knockback.
And Muthu putting that no-look pass, but it's a knock-on created by Havelocks.
Yeah, the game is there for the taking, Sabir. You know, it just police can, like I said earlier, play the rugby in the right end of the park. You know, at the moment they seem to be nailed to their own half. You know, and not coming into the Havelocks, green zone. You know, into the 22. So if they can just get the ball in there, and keep some pressure on, then definitely, points are in the offing.
Jivan, we have seen many matches stop play, so many unforced errors, but this game, especially the first half, was so good. But comparing to the rest of the games, how would you rate out of 10 this game?
I think this game has been very good, Sabir. It's right up there with the Navy versus Police game. We've seen some excellent rugby today. Especially Police, they were so bad last week, and such a dramatic transformation despite them not having a few key personnel in their ranks. But it's all in all, for Sri Lankan rugby, it's been excellent.
Right now.
You see a change at fly half. Samadha Lakshan coming in at fly half in place of Bura. Not a bad call. It's not a bad player to have on your bench, Sabir.
Absolutely. Samadha Lakshan, former Western, had some good, decent start in the first round in the absence of Nirosh and Fernando. Police with the scrum. Afzal sending it to Rehan. Mushin Falin. A lovely pass. Good hands coming in. Reza Rafaidin on his former teammate, national teammate rather, Kevin Dixon. Singit Sandarwan going into contact. Afzal sending out to the supportive numbers. And Dilshan once again. This time Rehan Virakon opting to hit. Oh, that's not a good play by Rimzi Jamalin. Referee playing advantage. Opportunity for Police as Mohammad Afzal puts a lovely kick into space and Radhisha Seniratna has scored. Brilliant play, Jayan.
What a score there.
I have never seen that celebration from Radhisha. He was over the moon. But take a bow. Clever thinking by Mohammad Afzal.
Well, you can't deny him that, no, can you? I mean, that's bit of showmanship, but then, well, the game needs a bit of that. What can I say, Sabir?
Skills, great understanding.
Outstanding bit of play. Rimzi Jamaldin really should have done a lot better. If you're a A-division club player playing fullback, that's just not good enough. Either you have to wait on the ball or to just put the ball out, as the last man of defense. You just cannot, just palm that ball back into the hands of the opposition. So, well, Sabir, if this goes over, that's 24 points to 20, and then Havelock had to come back and score a try. So, Police very much in the driving seat now.
Absolutely. Great game we have witnessed here.
Over, it's over. So that's a conversion, and that's 24-20. And now Police are firmly in the driving seat, and it's all up to Havelocks now to play the rugby if they want to clinch this one. The repercussions are serious, for Police. They are not going to win this league. We all know that. But Havelocks, any glimmer of hope they have, it's just going to be made all the more harder if they lose today's game.
Jamalin with the restart. Harishchandra could not gather that ball.
Just what Police didn't want. They had to clear their lines. They had to get the ball, clear the lines. They're just giving the ball back to Havelocks on a platter here.
Havelocks inside 22 now. Penalty advantage, and it is a penalty. Not sure what the call is, but
Captain.
Referee Dinka is having a word with Captain Chanak Udara.
Wait. Mata issala mone meya tackle release karanna ඕනේ. Right? අරගොල්ලන් ball place කරන්නත් ඕනේ. මෙයා immediately tackle release කරන්න ඒ මැදට ගන්නවා.
Two tries.
Okay.
So far he's the man for Police. As Jamalin puts that kick into touch. Time is ticking here at Police Park. As some cool breeze coming into the ground. Prasad Madhushankar. Looks like lost line out. Was stolen by police.
That's very poor by Havelocks, isn't it?
Police no call.
Oh dear.
Okay, thank you.
Desperate, unlucky by police. Havelocks very, very, very
I got
lucky to
the
get
knock
that ball back. I thought they really botched that line out, and well, they have another go at this.
Thank you.
And if Havelocks lose this game, they only have themselves to blame. They should have put police away at the start of the second half. They started off red hot, and it all looked like for all money that they'd got their strategy right. They were punching holes midfield, getting players out wide after that. But pure lack of concentration has led back in the game.
Set.
Needing to feed the scrum. 5 meters away. Lasidishan picks and run.
Release it now.
Quick ball by Meedin.
Offside! Offside! Playing advantage.
With another try. No, it's
Offside.
Says ThePapare. In fact, it's a penalty. He said
From off
that it was
offside
held up,
penalty.
and I'm not
From
sure
off
why was
offside.
the penalty being
Time.
awarded.
Doctor. From off offside.
You see, Sabir, all this pressure is coming from that mistake at the restart. You know, there was absolutely no pressure there. It was a poor kick, and there was no need to jump up and take that ball. You know, so all that emanates from that, and it's a shame that police are now nailed in their own on their own try line, and to leak a try here would be sinful.
Indeed, also you can follow us on all our social media platforms.
And
You
again,
can follow us on
left hand.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and the SoundCloud version. You can catch all the action and the updates, article previews and reviews. Jeevan, you being a number 8, how impressed are you with Radisha Senivarthan playing at 8 with his lower center of gravity? Police don't seems like they are missing Bilal Hassan.
I've been very impressed with Radisha Senivaratne. You know, I was maybe a bit, critical that I thought that he was their first choice number 8, but he's really grown with every game, and he's been outstanding. You know, so I take my hat off to him. It can't be easy, but he's doing an excellent job there at the back. You know, in fact, I was thinking, he's ideal man to take as a utility player in your squad. You know, so even for national selection, he's somebody you will have to consider.
Okay. Huh? Sure. Wait. Time on!
Havelock opting to tap and run.
Not 10, playing advantage.
Meedin, sending it to Lasidishan, former science player. Another quick ball to former Isipadan player this time. The ball comes loose. Looks like a turnover. Can police turnover from here?
Not 10.
Looks like
Number 3, not 10.
penalty. Dushman Priyadarshana taking it quickly and scores. Dushman Priyadarshana. This is not the first try in this season for him. But what happened to police defense on that situation, Jan?
Well, there was just barrage after barrage of attack by Havelocks, and I think they were just recovering from the last onslaught and just couldn't recover in time, and Havelocks caught them napping. So, like Jivan said, it goes to show that you have to be able to, after scoring, you have to be able to clear your lines after the restart. And many teams are guilty of switching off during that passage of time, and we know what other teams under the post as well. So, Havelock's very much in it, and with a few minutes left, you would think the police have really got themselves into a situation where they shouldn't have been, really.
Eight and a half now.
It says a minute remaining in your clock on your screen, but it's not the referee's clock, just a reminder. Looks like probably
20.
3 to 4 minutes remaining. Jamalin with the conversion. So
Take
far
it.
he's having 100% record this evening with his kicking. And that's a beautiful piece by Jamaldin from the far corner. As Havelocks move on to the lead, 27 points to 24. It's all happening here at the Police Park. Can Police come back strong?
Let's see if Police have one more surge in them as the crowd comes to life in the dying stage of this game.
Riza Mubarak with the restart. Good kick once again. Ghanid Lakshan securing the ball. Although he was not lifted this time. Try scorer Dushman the Priyadarshana going for the contact. Samantha Lakshan steps one, trying to sneak through. Hindi Ferenc trying to counter.
No, fine, I'm fine.
Meaning using the box kick. As Reza fighting comes underneath. He made a mistake. Police still with the ball position.
It's a silly piece of play. Really is a silly piece of play there.
Yeah, tackle assist.
I think the culprit was Sandhu Hera putting the hands in the ruck. Poor discipline. Riza Mubarak opting it into touch as it finds a good few meters inside the 22 meter. A lovely attacking opportunity for Police. Probably this could be the last one.
It's now or never, Sabir. First things first, they need to win this line out. Havelocks have made life difficult for them at line out.
Keep the gap now, Havelocks.
This ball,
Important,
and we'll
keep
see
the gap.
what happens from here.
Achala Pereira, the experience hooker, taken nicely by Police. Havelocks trying not to engage into that line out, but controlling by Havelocks. Referee says use it once. And once again, here they go forward, marching forward by the Police. There comes a big pressure in the names of Henry Ferenc and Achala Pereira.
Break. More ball.
That's a shocking call there.
I said once, I said use it, and you came near.
Well, Mr. Dinka Paris, I'm not sure
I
whether
just can't
that's...
understand that call, Sabir. They were still moving forward. Then the ball came down.
For a second, I thought it should be Police balls. Come down,
No, they were
attacking
moving
forward.
forward, but his rule is that it's a mall ball, and the team that took it in has responsibility of getting the ball out. But the ball was still moving forward, so I don't think he should at least call it, use it twice. And maybe he did, maybe didn't. But to us sitting here in the stands, that looks extremely harsh.
Absolutely, and even the Havelocks defense collapse and they resettle into that mall.
Fine. Set.
Right, Rizwan Mir interfering in the scrum. Putting pressure.
Break. Yeah, okay.
Police trying to win that.
Flank,
scrum.
right, okay. Number 3.
Some advice coming from the touch judge.
I'm here.
Like Chayan said, now or never for Police. If they can turn this scrum, would be fantastic for them. They're trailing by 3 points, 24 to 24. We're in the final few minutes here at the Police Park as Rizwan Mir sends it to the scrum and Lasin Dushan breaks through.
Line outside!
Jamaldin and Jamaldin.
Number 5 offside.
Offside says referee Dinka Piris. That's Captain Chanaka Udara. Time to come out of jail for the men in pink as Ramzi Jamaldin trying to put this kick into touch. Havelocks has no hurry. They're taking all their time they want. Tense moment here at the police park as the police supporters going screaming with regard to the referee's decision, but that's a poor line out once again. But referee allowed to play it on.
Wait. Line out again, I want the 10 meters back. People are not getting 10 meters back. Line out again, so you got 10 meters line down. So if they're not 10 meters, yeah.
If that is the case, it should be a yellow card.
So I'm talking.
Because it's not the first time Chanaka Udara have conceded a penalty, but I'm not really sure whether it's that the right call. Once again, some breathing space as Jamaldin trying to put this into territorial kick.
A few bizarre incidents have taken place, so it was the end of this game. It's been up to this point a pretty good game, but unfortunately you would think that the moment's gone begging for Havelocks, for police I mean. Havelocks now well in the police half.
Prasad Madhusankar. Oh, great steal by police. Gayan Dilshan.
No, he got back.
Lovely pass, 2-on-1. Chula Susanta cuts inside. We didn't see much X factor. Oh, that's a turned over by Lasan Dilshan. It's all happening here as Samant Lakshan puts that kick into touch. In fact, he was expecting the winger to chase it. But that's a knock-on inside the 22-meter. Police has one more chance.
So I think time is pretty much up here. So if police have to pull this off, they have to run pretty much the whole extent of the field, which is improbable. But this game's seen some pretty
Right, okay, come.
pretty unusual stuff happen already, so you would never know something.
And also talking about the man of the match performance, Jan.
That's a tough one. I thought the police number 8 had a pretty good game. Radhish Senivaratna has had a pretty decent game. So even though he might probably be on the losing side, he probably deserves to walk away with the prize.
Virakon sending out wide. This time Mushin Fal. In fact, Chula Susanta sending it the speed of Riza Rafaidi, taking on the national winger Sandun Herat. Mohammad Afzal with a brilliant step. Good support arriving on time. Kevin Dixon trying to pull the Radhisha Seniratna on that rock. Virakon sending a long ball. This perhaps could be the last play. Chanaka.
Okay.
Oh dear me, Mohammad Afzal trying to be quick on that occasion, but he knocks it on. But quite unfortunate for the home team. You can see the faces so disappointed. They played so well for the 75 minutes. Look at Mushin Falil. He's not even bothered to shake hands. Also Sharo Fernando, all frustrated. But at the end of 80 minutes, the score stands 27 points to 24 in favor of the men in pink. There's Dushmant Priyadarshan on your screen. As Havelocks finally pull out victorious, and they have to wait on the results at tomorrow's game. That's of course CRNFC versus Kandy at Nittawala. Final thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, well, I think police can consider themselves a bit unlucky to be on the receiving end of this game. I thought they played very well, but Havelocks probably just had a bit too much in the tank for them. So, well, in the end, it wasn't Havelock's finest hour of rugby, but still they get the win, and that's what matters to them the most. So, but unfortunate for Police, I thought they played very well, and that's what we need to see. We need to see good Police sides turn up, and that was it. So, on to next week now.
Final words, Jeevan?
I think I'm very happy what I saw today. I'm sure our viewers will also appreciate that we've had a fantastic game of rugby. We've seen it all. We've seen choppers land. We've seen 2 intercept tries by 2 forwards, and some very, very fierce contact. So it's been excellent rugby right throughout, and an excellent advertisement for Sri Lankan rugby. Police, unfortunate. Havelock will consider themselves, very lucky today. But all augurs well for next weekend, and things seem to be coming right for Police. Havelocks will still have their title dreams alive, so all's well.
Thanks, Jan and Jeevan. So that's it. You can see on your screen the key stats. Havelock scoring 3 tries, 3 conversion and 2 penalties. And Police scoring 3 tries, 3 conversion and a penalty. And the halftime score, it was 7-0 in favor of the Police team. But good comeback by the men in pink. Also, our man of the match is Radisha Seniviratna. And that's all we have here from Police Park. And do log us tomorrow at 4:10 p.m. at Nitavala. We'll be bringing you the clash between CRNFC versus Kandy. And I'm Sabir Kader signing off along with Jeevan and Jayan. Good night.